Hi everybody and welcome to the Tactics Board. I cannot wait for this show for a few reasons. First of all, I've had a brilliant week, my highest scoring week I think I've ever had in fantasy football, and I cannot wait to tell Karl and find out, have I overtaken him in the league at last? And also, because I'm just really looking forward to speaking to Karl and just seeing, mate, how are you doing? Oh, you look well considering.
You know what? I'm not feeling great. It's been such an hard few days, hasn't it? I mean, oh my word. I actually don't know where to start. It was just like last week when we did this, I'll just get out of the way, put it all on my chest, and then I can breathe and we can do this properly. Like last week, I said it was going to be bad. I mean, if I can see it coming a mile off, so can Klopp, so can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, we're third in the league for sprints, so the players are working hard, but you can run and work hard as much as you want. But if you don't have a purpose, a direction, it's pointless, isn't it? I mean, they don't seem to know when to run. They don't seem to know how to press. They're pressing individually.
They don't know how to defend, that's for sure, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Everyone's doing it on their own. Like City do it, like Liverpool do it, like Chelsea do it. Everything has to go as a team, and they're not doing that. So for me, that's one of two things. They're either not being coached properly, or they are just not able to do what the manager is asking of them. And to me, both of those seem strange. You know what I mean?
Mate, can you hear my dog currently having the biggest drink of all time? I'm so sorry. And I don't know why he's just decided to have a 2-minute drink.
Well, I have a Doberman through there, so when she starts kicking off, everyone will hear it, whether
we'll
it's or not. So that's fine. But anything to distract me from this pain.
It was appalling, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look at Ollie's kind of tenure as a whole, has he improved the team, improved the squad since he's been there? Yeah, I think he probably has. Can he take them any further? I'm not sure. I think, look at him, no. I think he's I think
he's ceiling now, and he's respectfully he's hit his ceiling now. He's done a great job stabilising you, and you know, he's definitely improved you. Clearly, you can't deny that in his 3 years. He's definitely hit his ceiling now. Are you Ollie in or Ollie out?
I don't want him out because I just want to support him. Like whoever it is in there, I'd support until.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking though. You can support him while he's manager. I keep hearing United fans say this. No, you can support him while he's manager. Yes. If you had the option of a different manager right now, would you take it?
Who? Like, there's no option of. There's no option. Like, he's our manager. It doesn't matter an option of anyone else. He's our manager. I'm a United fan. I'm supporting him. I think Ollie now has just got to make United hard to play against. He's got to be selfish. He's got to fight for his job. He's got to make United hard to play against, hard to beat.
He can't do it. You're all delusional now because you love him so much from his goal and what he did for your club, which I fully and completely appreciate. You love him all so much that you're so blinkered to the fact that he cannot take you any further. That you're sacrificing your season because you like him so much.
I don't think that's the case. I think you've seen in the past, you've seen other teams do it, like probably Arsenal, how Arsenal fans treated Arsene Wenger, sort of thing, how he was hounded out of the club. I think United fans maybe treat their managers a little bit differently. When he's done, and that's fine. If he does get sacked in the next few games, we'll thank him for everything he's done. If he doesn't,
I didn't see you treating David Moyes differently. I didn't see you treating Jose Mourinho differently. Did you all love Van Gaal? Did you?
You didn't know me then, so I can only speak from my own opinion, but yeah.
Right. Anyway, let's move on to the big question. How many points did you get this week?
How many points? You know what? I did quite well this week, but it still just seems rubbish because I've had a rubbish week. 89 points I got this week.
That's a decent week, mate.
Yeah, you're saying that because how many have you got? It's ridiculous.
138.
138.
138 points this week, mate. It took me about 4 weeks to get that.
Oh my God, 138. Because that's just ridiculous. Like, that's like a month's worth of points in 1 week.
Well, I had Salah captain, I had Smith Rowe captain, and I had Foden.
Oh, man.
So
I think it's the Smith Rowe and Foden one which you've done really well at. Everyone's got Salah, haven't they? But the Smith Rowe and Foden, yeah, fair play. So where are you now in your league?
So that's a good shout, right? Well, where are you? Because I'm trying to overtake you. Where are you?
To be honest, I'm not worried. This is one thing that I have confidence in. You won't catch me. 351st.
Say that again?
Oh, that's made me nervous. 351st. Why?
337.
Oh my
14
God!
places ahead of you.
That is this week cannot get any worse. So how many actual points have you got? Total points.
Total points. Let's have a look.
Sorry, everyone. We're making this about us, but
650.
650. Oh, you know what? That's close because I have got 639. You've got 11 points more than me. So you've done well though because you made loads up this past week.
Mate, I was about 80 behind you or something. Well, what? No, I must have been 50 behind you with a difference.
Yeah. Yes. So I'll tell you why. What went wrong? What went wrong with me this week? I had Romelu Lukaku who got me 0 points because the Friday night game caught me out. Like, I was going to change my team Friday night, and then I was like, oh my God, Arsenal are already playing.
Mate, we did the show. We told people not to get caught out by that.
I know.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. Let's get on with the team of the week. Can't do this anymore, Natalie.
Yes, it's only taken me 9 game weeks to get ahead of you. I'm so excited. Right, if you'd like to join our league and see where you would be in comparison to Karl and I, the code is 9976717. We're closing in on 1,000 players in our league, and we're going to be doing another giveaway very, very soon. So come and join us. See where you are. See where you are in comparison to us. I am so happy right now. It's really clicking for me now, you know, Karl. 9 weeks of doing this show, and I'm finally started to click. So
it's about time.
Right. So let's have a look at the team of the week. And just to keep grinding you down further, Karl, in an attempt to try and make you cry, we're going to start with 2 of the 3 Liverpool players that are in the team of the week this week. So in goal, I don't think it's any surprise that in goal it's Alisson. Would you like to tell us about Alisson's weekend?
I can tell you about his weekend. I mean, everyone knows his weekend. He got you 11 points. He kept a clean sheet. Alisson has now kept 7 clean sheets in his past 10 Premier League games. He's on 56 points, 8 points behind the highest goal-keeping scorer, Edouard Mendy. Alisson did really well. Trent did really well. United just let Liverpool players run riot, do what they want. You take the next Liverpool player. I can't talk about Trent. It really gets me.
So on Alisson, obviously he's one of the 3 premium keepers in the game, but just to kind of keep everybody up to date, you've got Ederson, who's 8 million, who's the most expensive. He's on 51 points so far. You've got Alisson, who's 7.8 million, who's on 56 points so far, and then you've got Mendy, 7.6 on 64 points. So all of the premium keepers are getting you a lot of points. And do you know what? I have decided this week, Karl, that I am going to go for a premium keeper.
Oh, very good.
I'm going to sub out South and Wolves, getting a premium keeper because they are just, I mean, they're big points. They're bringing in, they're worth the money. They're bringing in the points. But yes, moving on. So there's a 3-man defence in the team of the week this week, and it is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is there. No surprise again, I would say, that he is in there, Karl, keeping that lovely clean sheet at the weekend. At Old Trafford.
I mean, and it was a bit of a good week for him, wasn't it, Trent Alexander-Arnold? Because I was doing my research before this, and it's 5 years since he made his Liverpool debut this week. So, I mean, what a week he's had. He got you extra points for an assist, a clean sheet, like you say, an extra point for passes, and to do it at Old Trafford. What a week for him. I'm so happy for him. I can't wait.
Yeah. He's now in the 16.9% of the top 1,000s team, 17.7% of the overall players. And I can only presume that's low because obviously he was injured for a few games, and it is perhaps taken a few weeks for people to get him back in there. But I got him back in there for last week. So yes, highly recommended. Right, so that's it. So there's 2 Liverpool goalkeeper, 1 Liverpool defender. The other 2 defenders come from Chelsea. And again, no surprise there after their 7-0 drumming of Norwich at the weekend. So the first one we'll have a chat about is Reese James.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, Reese James, he got you 14 points, got you a goal, he got you a clean sheet. And Natalie, it's Chelsea defenders again. I mean, there's been 2 Chelsea defenders in the team of the week for the past 3 weeks. That's nuts. 2, not just 1, but 2, week in, week out. And I think with Newcastle and Burnley coming up next, it looks like that trend's going to continue. And like we said the other week, it wasn't Alonso. If it's not Alonso, Rudiger, it's Ben Chilwell, it's James. If it's not him, it's Christensen. The other Chelsea defender is Ben Chilwell, who got you 14 points. And we spoke about him last week. I said last week he's on a goal-scoring run. But Chilwell's goal this week, that was his 4th goal in 4 games for Chelsea and England combined. So it's nuts. Since he's been back in the team, he's been in the team of the week every single week.
Do you know what, as well? Shout out to those people anyone that predicted he was coming back into the team, because I had him at the start of the season, then obviously he didn't play. And then for the last 3 games, he scored 12, 16 and 14. So if anybody kind of had inside info or was paying real attention to Chelsea and thought he was about to come back in and have had him for the last 3 weeks, then that was absolutely golden.
And that's just like Tuchel showing his kind of managerial prowess sort of thing, because of the fact that Alonso was in there. He had a few shaky defensive performances, but he was scoring you loads of points in terms of fantasy football. But he's put Ben Chilwell in there and he's just kind of carried on where Alonso left, but maybe a little more solid defensively as well.
Yeah, definitely. And with Reese James as well, he's completed only his second full 90 minutes of the season at the weekend. So he was absolutely sensational. Brilliant defender, brilliant going forward. His stats in terms of 4 goals in 6 appearances for Chelsea this season. I'm not sure. I think he's one to keep an eye on. He's one to watch at the minute, because in terms of the cost of him, I think I'd still be going for Rudiger above him at the minute, but definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think Ben Chilwell is a little bit expensive as well. If you compare him to João Cancelo, I think João Cancelo is slightly cheaper. I think it's only about like 0.1 million. But for me, that makes a big difference. You can spend 0.1 million and you can like cram someone else in somewhere else. So I would go João Cancelo myself. But
yeah, João Cancelo 9.5.
Yeah. And
Chilwell 9.6. Yeah, João Cancelo is still the highest scoring defender in the game so far on 68 points.
Right. Let's move on to midfield, shall we, Natalie? And Kovacic.
Both of them.
Ben Chilwell's teammate, Mateo Kovacic, got you 14 points. He got you an assist, extra points for passes, for tackles. And Natalie, he's keeping the likes of Kante out of the team at the moment. And you forget that Kovacic, he had that previous career, if you will, at Real Madrid, and he's a 4-time Champions League winner already. But yeah, what a performance he had at the weekend, slotting through them balls from midfield through to the attackers. And they haven't got Romelu Lukaku, they haven't got Timo Werner, and they're getting these results.
Who needs a striker? Playing with a striker so last, 2 seasons ago now, anyway, who needs a striker?
Yeah.
With Kovacic, though, really interesting. I didn't realise he's so unbelievably consistent in the fantasy game. He's the 10th highest scoring player of the season so far. He seems to have gone right under my radar. He's the second highest scoring Chelsea player after Mendy, who's on 58 points so far. He's had 4 big scoring weeks. He's had 2 8s, a 16 and a 15, but he's started every game, I think. So I feel like he's one that's really kind of gone under the radar in the game. I mean, he's only 5.46% of people have got him, only in 3.4% of the top 1,000 players have got him. But yeah, he's the 10th highest scoring player in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the things. If you can play week in, week out, and you've got a player that is playing for these top 4 sides, he's going to get you points consistently. And it's that consistent basis, isn't it? Because that's the difficulty with Chelsea and Man City, for example, getting those midfielders that will play week in, week out. And he's one of them.
Definitely.
You can take this next guy, Natalie. You can take this midfielder, because you were clever enough to put him in your team this week. Emil Smith got you 14 points, didn't he?
Yes, Emil Smith. Right, I think we've talked about him on this show a few weeks ago in terms of how good he's looking in midfield, alongside Saka as well. And I think we talked about him when we were looking at the assist that they were giving to Aubameyang. And I really I started thinking, okay, well, hold on a minute. This is good value. He's 7.5 million. He's in the 10% now of the top 1,000 teams. 41 points so far this season. But in terms of the weekend's game that you missed, the Friday game, I had him as captain. So, something that, you catch on to in this game is that you can have the captains on the different game days. So he was like an absolute no-brainer for me at the weekend, on Friday night, to get him in the team and to have him as captain. He started, he got a goal, he got an assist, he got man of the match. He must be a hugely exciting player for Arsenal fans to be watching at the minute, because we know he's Arsenal through and through. He's a badge kisser, Karl. He grabs the badge when he scores. He's one of them, but he's Arsenal through and through. He's one of their own. And I think, he's really, really is one to watch. Arsenal are on the up. He's on the up. I think he'll be staying in my team for the rest of the season.
And what's positive about that is that 2 young English players have helped turn that around at Arsenal, haven't they? Bukayo Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. Yeah. They've really spearheaded changing form for Arsenal. And all this for Emil Smith wrote against the team that tried to sign him twice in the summer. Aston Villa went in for him, not once, but twice. And then he goes and does that to him, flipping it. So they knew what they were doing. And Emil Smith wrote, what a player he is. And we've got 6 English players in the team of the week this week. So Gareth Southgate and 3 Lions fans are just going to be buzzing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely right. We've got the next man in the team. Now, Karl, is this the first Burnley player we've had in the team of the week?
It is. I was going to say, we need a drum roll or something. Finally have a Burnley player in the team of the week. Maxwell Corney got 16 points. And he's now got 3 goals in 2 Premier League starts as well, Natalie. And I think his kind of arrival at Burnley as well, for me, signifies a bit of a change in transfer policy. Because previously, Burnley players have kind of mainly come from like Britain and Ireland and that type of thing. But now they're looking at the European market a little bit more. And it's paying dividends for them.
Somewhere, is it about 4 or 5 years since they've signed someone from Europe?
I honestly don't know, but I know for a fact that I think the change in hierarchy at the club now is, I've thought, we can go out further afield and look further afield. And to me, I think it's just strange that they haven't done that already.
Yeah, I don't know a huge amount about him, if I'm being honest. I know that he signed from Lyon in the summer. But apart from that, I really don't know a lot about him. But then again, he's 0.0% of the top 1,000 team, 0.07% of overall. So perhaps I'm not the only one that doesn't know a lot about him.
You're not the only one. No, you're not. But one that people know a lot about is our next midfielder, is Mason Mount, who got you 29 points, right? He got you a hat-trick, he got you an assist, he got you a man of the match, and he got you extra points for shots. I mean, Chelsea were obviously good, but just how poor were Norwich, Natalie?
I mean, a shout out to anybody that captained him. I feel smug for captaining Salah, but anybody that captained Mason Mount this weekend is laughing.
Yeah, fair play to them. I mean, Norwich just give Chelsea so much space, so much time in midfield. And that's why we've got so many Chelsea players in the team of the week this week, because of that massive result. But Mason Mount is not only one player who's got a hat-trick. There's 3 players in this team of the week this week that's got a hat-trick. We'll get to the other 2 a little bit later on. But what a midfield we've got here. We've got Smith-Rowe, English talent, Mason Mount, English talent, and the next one, Phil Foden, English talent.
And on Mason Mount's obviously 29 points this week. Should say before the weekend, he was only on 13 points for the season. So, phenomenal game for him. Yes, but moving on to the English talent, please. Can we have it right, Karl?
Yeah,
the future of English football. It is the man, Phil Foden. And some of us are feeling fairly smug that we substituted Kevin De Bruyne and brought in Phil Foden. Hey, I don't know, I didn't have any inside info, Karl. I knew nothing. I just had a feeling.
I cannot deal with you this week. Honestly, I can't. What a week it has been.
Just had a feeling. I was so smug when the team sheets came out. But yes, my boy Phil Foden, he started, he got 2 goals. He got an assist. He was man of the match. He got bonus points for shots. The best way to describe him, Karl, is that he is no longer an emerging talent. He's no longer a player, he's on his up, keep an eye on him. That's done. He's here. He's the real deal. He is the future of English football. He genuinely is he is a generational talent. He's the real deal.
I think you're right. I think he's not the future. He's the present. And he has been, I think, for probably even last season, a little bit of this season for City. But what I wanted to ask you, Natalie, as a City fan who watches him week in, week out, what is his best position? Is it left of a front 3? Is it the top of a diamond? Is it midfield? I've even seen Pep try to play him up front. I just don't know what his best position is. So
he's played a couple of times, almost in a false 9 role.
Yeah.
But not that far forward. I like him in the centre of midfield, a little bit further back. I like him in the old David Silva position. Mm-hmm. That's my preferred. But as Pep has said, he can play like 5 positions, and he can. That's another point of what's so magical about him, And the way that City do it, and you'll know for anybody whose team's played City, is you're like, Phil Foden started in the middle, and then in the middle of the second half, you're like, but now he's out on the left.
On the wing,
somebody else is out there, and you can't keep a track of it. But I think in the middle of an attacking formation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Who knows, Karl? Seriously.
I mean, it doesn't matter, does it? When you've got a player like that, and it's just such a positive. Like, I wasn't even going at it in a sense of what is his position, because a lot of players you think it's a negative that he doesn't actually quite have a position, but the fact that Phil Foden can play many positions and so seamlessly, he doesn't look out of position as it was, is such a big benefit to him.
And I'm going to keep him in now, Karl. I feel like, yes, he's definitely going to be a part of Pep Roulette because all the players are. And we found out with Ruben Diaz after I told everybody to put him in their team a couple of weeks ago and then he didn't play. But I feel like Phil Foden right now, he's going to start in every game pretty much that he's available for in the Premier League. So I'll definitely be keeping Foden in for a while now.
I must admit, he's the one I'm most tempted by from the City midfield because he's a relatively decent price. He obviously gets you points now. He didn't start of a few games at the start of the season, but
yeah, he was injured.
I'm not quite there yet. I might go Emil Smith over him, to be honest. I'm not so sold on Mason Mount, especially after you saying he only had 13 points.
13 points, yeah.
I think Mason Mount is the most transferred player in this week, but now I'm going to hold off a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what, Karl? You know how my team name is No United Players, and at the start of the season, people were like, "How can you have no United players? How can you not have Shaw and Bruno and Ronaldo?" Now
that's why you're doing so well.
If you've still got United players, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's why you're doing so well. I actually looked on the most transferred out, and I think Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, they are in there. I'm going to have a serious think this week. I'm going to go away and have a serious think. But one player who isn't leaving my side, unfortunately, is Mohamed Salah, who got you 26 points this week. I mean, last week, Natalie, 92.5% of top 1K teams had him. This week, I checked that figure before we started filming today, 99.7%. That's practically 100% of the top 1K team have him in their side. I mean, no wonder. I said last week, Natalie, that I was worried, and rightly so. For me, he's the best player in the world at the moment. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. And for me, Salah is in my team every single week and he's captain every single week. And I'm not buying into this studying who your captain's going to be and picking your captain based on the fixtures and everything, because Salah is the best shout for captain every week, regardless of the team. And we saw that at the weekend, for those of us that captained Salah at the weekend, it was 52 points. And I believe you did as well, Karl, which must have been your only highlight from the weekend.
It was I can't even say it was bittersweet because it was just bitter. But when I checked, I was like, oh, well, at least I've captained him. And that's my thing with rival players. Like I've said to you before, Natalie, if I captain a Liverpool player, I obviously don't want him to do well. But if he does do well, at least I get a bit of a bonus that way.
I never want to feel happy about a United player, never.
Mohamed Salah will be getting you points all season, like you say, Natalie. The only time
fit him in your team. Yeah, I don't care how you do it.
The African Cup of Nations, that's the only time he's going to stop getting you points, which is in January. So keep an eye on that.
We'll deal with that when we get there.
We will. Let's deal with our next striker cell with Josh King, who got you 22 points if you had him in. Only 0.17% of players had him in, so if you did, fair play. But to get a hat-trick against your old club, Natalie, Everton, that must have been so sweet for him.
Yeah, what a game as well. I watched that game. I was in work in another job that I do, where I was fortunate enough to have all the games on, and I watched the game, and it was such an exciting game. And yeah, he was just phenomenal. 3 goals gets you 15 points. Obviously, he picked up man of the match, shots. He did get a -1 for a yellow card, but I think we'll forgive him after he got that hat trick. But yeah, a huge game week for him this week as well. And like you say, against your rival team, it's got your former team, it's got to be sweeter for him.
And what a performance it was for Watford as well. Don't forget, they got absolutely hammered last week by Liverpool, and for them to recover and put in a performance like that again, fair play to them.
Yeah. So before we go on to our ones to watch, that's our team of the week. Little mentions for the week. You've got till Saturday morning to do your changes this week. So you're all right, Karl. There's no Friday night game.
Yes, thank you.
You're all right. There's games Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you can have a captain on each of them. But I did look at the Monday fixture and think, I've got nobody and I don't think I'll put anyone in. So the Monday fixture is Wolves-Everton.
Yeah.
Have you still got Saar?
No. Well, I've got Damari Gray.
You'll be right then.
For Everton, so I'll be fine. But yeah, equally, I just want to say as well before we finish, David Raya for Brentford. He looks like he's the goalkeeper that everyone's been choosing. He looks like he's going to be out for 5 months apparently after suffering a
I missed that.
Yeah, so David Raya is out. I've got, honestly, if you look at my team now, I've got 4 players with exclamation marks. 2 of them are red. So I need to have a big...
Vardy's got an exclamation mark as well. Yeah, so don't forget, everybody, there is cup games this week. Obviously, you wouldn't know about that, Karl, because you guys got knocked out in the last round. But there's
proper cup. It's not a proper cup.
It's a real cup. It's the cup. It's the Manchester City Cup this week.
Yeah.
It is the cup. So don't make any changes before at least Thursday. Wait till Friday, I would say, maybe even Saturday morning to make any changes because of those midweek games. Right, who is your one to watch this week?
My one to watch this week kind of cuts me a little bit, but I can't not highlight him because he's just been so consistent and so good. My one to watch this week is João Cancelo.
Yes!
Well done. I was going to go for yours, but I'll let you do yours next. But mine's João Cancelo. He's been in the team in a week 3 times already this season. He's arguably one of the most creative fullbacks in the league. And Natalie, there's a few reasons I chose him, to be fair. Yes, okay. He often seems to beat Pep Roulette, doesn't he, week in, week out. He's one of those defenders that stalwarts for Pep Guardiola who's there. But he's also the highest scoring defender in the game. And as we said earlier, he's slightly cheaper than Ben Chilwell. I think it's only £0.1 million, but that can go a long way if you're trying to fit someone in elsewhere. But most importantly for me, he is in 58% of the top 1K teams in the game. So the players that really know what they're doing have him in their side. He's in my side. And this week, City, as you will know, are up against Crystal Palace, which is a pretty decent fixture. So João Cancelo, he'll be looking to keep a clean sheet. He'll be looking to get an assist, potentially a goal. So yeah, that is why, unfortunately, Manchester City's João Cancelo is in my one to watch for this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gets a lot of bonus points. He picks up passing bonus points and tackle bonus points. The only thing to be aware of, Karl, is that Zinchenko is back fit now. So he's been playing great, but perhaps the reason he's been beating the Pep Roulette is because we haven't had anybody else to play in left back. Zinny is back now, so let's keep an eye on that because Cancelo is in my team. I'm going to keep an eye on that though. I think he'll beat the Pep Roulette, but there is someone else now that can play that position.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And you never know, having someone breathing him down his neck like Zinchenko might even improve him a little bit more. You never know. Who's your one to watch this week, Natalie?
So my one to watch is a player with my favourite name in the whole Premier League. I don't know if you know his full name. It's brilliant.
No, go on.
Valentino Francisco Livramento.
Oh,
that's a rubbish Italian accent. Can you imagine an Italian saying that? But he's English. He's English, by the way. He's English, but that is his name. What a brilliant name. So Livramento. And I feel like I'm hoping this isn't like one you like the horses bolted type thing, like because he's been doing so well. I don't want to say it now and jinx him in any way, but if you don't know about him in the game, where have you been? He is the 12th highest scoring defender so far, which is really great because of his price tag. He's 6.5 million. We looked at some of the 6 million defenders last week and I didn't include him, but he is at that price, he's just an absolute must for me. If you consider that Diaz is 10.6, Trent Alexander-Arnold is 10.5, he's 6.5 million. He scored his first goal for Southampton at the weekend. He came from Chelsea in the summer, £5 million, which seems like a steal. He's only 18. He's playing for the England under-21s. He's got a really big future ahead of him. And I just think if you're putting in one of the real expensive premium defenders, you want him in your team as well to balance it. 6.5 million.
Cheap.
Have you got him?
No, I've not got him. But it's just a coincidence that we both this week choose defenders to be our ones to watch this week.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of value in defenders in the game. I'm actually thinking of dropping one of my forward 3 this week.
You know, I swear to God, I'm not. I was thinking the same thing.
Really?
2 up top, maybe flooding the defence or midfield. But
I was thinking that.
I was looking at the highest scoring players in our league, and a lot of them do only have 2 up front. So maybe even consider changing formation. A lot of people will go 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 and have 3 up front. But with Lukaku injured, with Ronaldo not hitting form, with Harry Kane not hitting form, there's a lot of those big kind of strikers that you could potentially leave out and just have a 2 up front this week.
And there's a lot of value in the midfield and the defence around 6 to 7 million. There's a lot of value where there really isn't up front. So I've stuck with Ivan Toney for the whole season at 7.9. He's on 46 points so far. He's pretty much, he starts every single game. But, maybe there's more value at 7.9 in the midfield or the defence.
You've got a good midfield though so far. I think maybe.
I've only got 3 though. And do you know what? Maybe that's another one. We're going off on a massive tangent, but I'm going off Ben Rama at the minute. But anyway, Anyway, before we go off on a tangent, I'm ahead of you in the league. Let's just remind everybody, I am ahead in the league.
11 points. That's one player. That's one player this week.
It's fine. I don't care. I'm ahead of you, and I'm so happy. So thank you so much for watching the Tactics Board. Remember, you can still join our game, the Footy Accumulators League on the Sky Sports Fantasy Football with the code 9976717. Very best of luck with your picks this week. And you've got Spurs at the weekend, eh? Maybe it'll be Ollie out by then. See you next week, Karl.